Tiyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisvatyata. Okay, step number, the first one is remember all beings as one's mothers. Step number 2 is remembering their kindness, Tintin. Step number 3 is repaying their kindness. So the step number 3, there's nothing really additional there. With step number 1 and 2, when these 2 steps, you are very serious with these 2 steps, the experiences, they are really invoked intensely. Then the step number 3, repaying the kindness, it is for us to make the commitment that, okay, I will therefore, henceforth, I will repay the kindness of all the mothers. All the mothers, I will always make them happy, repay the kindness, all the love and affection that I receive, all the benefit that I receive from my parents, I will repay them. This is the only job that I have, no excuse. Only thing that I'm left with is to repay the kindness of all the sentient beings. Make a very strong commitment. This is to make a commitment. Okay, making this commitment, then you next to you move to the next point. What is the next point? What's the next point? Seeing beings in a lot of great affection. What is the Tibetan? What's it? Yewong Chamba. Yewong Chamba. Yewong Chamba, seeing beings in a lot of great affection, means that once you feel that the beings are very affectionate towards you, that you love the beings so much, the beings love you so much, when you're able to see that, then how you see them is going to be very different. How are you going to see them? Okay, I'll share you my experience, and then on that basis you can understand what it means. It was many years ago, when I was very young, maybe I was something age, maybe 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like this age. So there, because I lost my mother very young, age 5, and then all my love and affection was directed towards my father. My father was so loving, so caring, and my love likewise was directed towards my father. So whenever I saw my father, he must be in his, I think, late 40s or early 50s, maybe then, maybe 50s. I saw him as very smart. Every time I saw him, I should see him as very smart. Okay, so I was always seeing him. It always gave me such a feeling of pride that my father is very smart. And then one time in school when I was like age 12 or 13. How many of you know Richard Gere? You know Richard Gere, right? So that time the Richard Gere was very young, maybe in his the 30s maybe, Richard Gere. And I was very innocent. I did not know who Richard Gere was. And then my classmates, they're saying that, oh, Richard Gere came to our school, Richard Gere. He's an actor. So actor, Hollywood actor. And okay, people are just saying as though like he's so very different. I was so curious. When they say, no, who is he? Right? There's nothing really special there. he cannot really compare with my father. My father is so handsome, he's not. And why he's so popular, why he's so famous, right? This is my feeling. Then, my auntie from my mother's side, my aunt, I was in her house and she was sharing me about my mother's, her time. Two of them were more like cousins, how two of them together, and then she was sharing about my family before I was born. And she told me that your father has 7 siblings, total, including father, 7 siblings. That I already knew. Then I don't know that. And of the 7 siblings, your father is the eldest, and your father is the ugliest. I could not believe. What was she saying? Right? Forget about my father's siblings. Even Richard gave us nothing in front of my father, right? And she's saying that my father's ugliest amongst the 7 siblings. What is she saying? I couldn't really answer what she's saying. I didn't really agree with her. And then later on, then after completing my high school, then joined the monastery, then studied Bodhicitta, then this section, Yong Chamba. Seeing beings in the light of great affection. When you love somebody so much, you see that person is very different, so smart, so beautiful, so something outstanding. Then I realized, I was seeing my father, who was very ugly actually, and actually seeing in a very different light of affection, something glowing, something outstanding. In actuality, my aunt was correct. My father was not that smart, he must be the ugliest. Yeah. Okay, so this is beautiful. So when you're able to really feel the love and affection towards others, to whomever you feel the love and affection, then that person start to appear as so nice, so appealing, something so different, outstanding. This beautiful feeling. When you see other beings in the light of great affection, no room for anger, no room for, say, the jealousy, competition, and so forth. Your feeling, you naturally flow your mind naturally flows. This is so beautiful state of mind. Okay, so the first bodhicitta we were doing this first bodhicitta in the ashram, Punyasthala Hindu ashram, and the couple who were running the ashram, they were actually practicing Buddhism, Buddhist practice, and teaching bodhicitta. They're practicing this. So we organized the first bodhicitta retreat there in the ashram, and that time there were only about 17 participants, not a huge group, 17 participants. One of them, gentleman, was from Mumbai. When we were explaining this, the Yong Chamba, seeing like the beings in light of great affection, then I could still remember he was sitting on a chair, and then he interrupted, Gueshe, can I interrupt you for a second? I said yes. He understood what I was saying. Then he said that, in fact, there is a saying which is extremely beautiful. What is that? In fact, there's a saying that in this world, there is only one most beautiful baby, and every mother has it. In this world, there's only one most beautiful baby, only one, and every mother has it. Which means, in the eyes of the mother, right? Your child is with the other 100 children, young babies, 100 children. You can just pick her up directly, right? Because he or she is outstandingly beautiful, and others are just nothing. Your child is outstandingly beautiful, right? So this is how you see. This is known as Yong Chamba, seeing beings in the light of great affection. When you love, automatically the object appears as different. How a mind affects the perception of the object. It's beautiful. When you start seeing the beings with this practice of love and affection towards other beings, whether both the methods, equalizing exchange method or central cause method, with this, your feeling love and affection grows, keep growing. And then as you start, even the neutral people, how you start to see the people very different from how you used to see them. Earlier you used to see them just through unrelated, who cares? Now it's very different. It's very different. There's something beauty there. There's something nicety there. There's something connection there. Your mind flows. And even with the difficult people, more the difficult person, more you feel, more your mind flows. More you feel something beauty there. It's amazing. Right? Okay. In my life, there was one person. There is one person. Don't ask me who. In my life, since my childhood, there was another person. Extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. Particularly when I was young. Age. Okay, I should not disclose that age. Okay, smaller than 16. Very difficult. And my mind was just like this angry hatred. Right? And then it was not because of my personal the disliking or anger like this. It's because of the personality of the other side. Nobody likes that person. Nobody likes this person. Even the person's own relatives, they don't like the person. Very difficult, very difficult. Just this young boy saw like this. And then, after high school, then joined the monastery and started not really started, my personal initiative, because the actual Cosme Bodhicitta should be in the, I think, third to the fourth year. And the first year, I was, through my own initiative, started to take note of learn about Bodhicitta personally, and then meditate on Bodhicitta personally. So doing this, may I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. Okay, then suddenly that person comes to my mind. Oh, except for that person, right? May I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Then suddenly that person comes. No, except for that person, right? Okay, that is very difficult for me. So difficult. Bodhicitta, this is not Bodhicitta then. Then what should I do? Okay, I was practicing. It took me several years. After a while, then this anger, gross anger, disappeared. Gross anger disappeared. Then it became like a normal. It became normal. Then after a while, through more practice, then the same person, when I sensed that other people, they were, backbiting and so forth, I felt so pained. How come that everyone is just like bullying, backbiting, right? I felt just very spontaneously I started to defend. So this kind of change happens. So this is something, if you practice, this is bound to happen. Okay, this is what I'm sharing. This is what I like to share with you. This is known as, the seeing beings in the light of great affection. Seeing beings in the light of great affection. If you practice, slowly you start slowly you start to see the person as very differently and very appealing. This word, appealing. You getting it? Very appealing. When that feeling comes, automatically your mind flows. This is not that great, the seeing beings in the light of great affection. What is next? Nyingje, great compassion. Okay, when you see beings in the light of great affection, how the mother sees the child. Right? As something so outstandingly beautiful, appealing, your mind flows, so tender. When you see that, that is known as the feeling of love and affection. So up to this point, the feeling of love and affection is built. Now the next part is compassion. For compassion, there are two things. What are they? Compassion, there are two things. One is the subject. What is the subject? Feeling of love. Feeling of love and affection. That is already built now, up to this point. Now, what is the other side? Object, suffering. Sentient beings. Apply to sentient beings as suffering. So when you think about this, how the sentient beings are suffering in the six realms, Even in human realm, sickness, aging, death, tension, stress, depression, and in hands of the terrorists, in hospices, all are so painful. Then animals in the KFC, in the slaughterhouse, then how the animals in the ocean, how the animals, they eat each other, right? And how the animals in the wilderness. Every animal has to live in fear. Every animal. Even the tigers and the lions also, they have to live in fear. When they see the weaker animals, they go to prey on them. When they see a stronger one, they have to run. Right? All has to live in fear. Right? This is among the pain. Look at how they say, for example, the zebras and the deers. The baby is being attacked by the animal, the lions and so forth. Then the mother had to run. Right? What is the amount of pain the mother's going through? The baby, the different of the mother. Even the mother is so weak, so vulnerable. Anybody can attack the mother so easily. This is kind of the suffering the beings are going through. And it is those poor deers and the zebras like this. No. It's just like they say, a taking turn. Taking a turn. Right? Whose turn? We never know. When we take birth like this, and they take birth as a human being. Again, this is like a turn. This is how. This is known as a cyclic existence. Right? So if you think in this form, then we see that the beings to whom I love so much, they're going through so much of pain, agony, anxiety, and so forth. Okay. So, naturally what happens? This feeling of love and affection will take the form of compassion. May you be freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. Right? It becomes very intense. Feel it, and let it come out. So sometimes when you practice it, you just feel like crying, right? When you practice it by yourself, of course, by yourself in your room, when you practice it, sometimes you feel like crying. When you feel like crying, if, say, you cry it, that is so good. When you cry, the emotions are being stirred even more. Emotions are even more activated. So there, the capacity to compassion is even more activated. This is so good, right? Okay, so this is about the great compassion. You wholeheartedly feel that may all beings be free from suffering. Of course, up to this point, we have already cultivated the feeling of the love from the subject side. And from the object side, you have to think about the suffering nature. How the beings are suffering terribly with the suffering change, and pervasive condition suffering, all triggered by the two demons. Self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude. As long as they are under the sway of these two, they are never freed from the suffering. Just as I am, right? How I'm tortured so badly by these two demons. How all the sentient beings, they're also tortured by the two demons so badly. And you love them so badly, you love them so much. And then it will take a very intense form of compassion, wishing everybody to be freed of suffering and the cause of suffering. When that happens, what could be some of the indications? Indications are, okay, for example, say, then it is like you become like a mother. Literally, you will feel like a mother. Right? Say, for mother, if the mother will never, say the mother, a sensible mother. A sensible, very affectionate mother, right? Which is like 90% of the mothers, they're like this. Okay, in some cases, okay. So there, the point is that one of the indications is that the mother will never speak badly about the child, even behind. Right? If somebody talks badly about the child, the mother will be there to defend the child. Will never speak badly, backbite the child. Right? Only for a reason. If there is a reason, then the mother may, by telling somebody of the truth of the child, then the other person can help the child like this, then the mother may tell it. Otherwise, the mother will always defend the child, never backbite. So, generally speaking, backbiting, throwing comments like this, these are the indication that you don't love the person to whom you throw the comments. You getting it? So as this feeling of love and affection grows, all these unnecessary comments, being judgmental, they will also slowly disappear. Right? Genuine love and affection will flow. So this, the other person can easily feel that has happened within you. They can feel it. And you can also feel that. You will also feel like your own child, like your own daughter, like your own son. This is how you start to feel. Right? Okay. And then for example, the sweeping generalizations. For example, say Western country and the Islamic countries, these Muslims. Which means that the genuine love and affection is not there. Which means you are far away from Bodhicitta. You're getting it? Likewise, say, for example, for me as a Tibetan, oh, these Chinese. If this attitude comes, finish. You are far away from Bodhicitta. Far away from Bodhicitta. No excuse. No doubt, the communist Chinese, they really tortured, killed, bullied so many millions of Tibetans. But simply because of that, how can I have a feeling of anger towards all these innocent millions of Chinese, billions of Chinese? Right? So if this animosity is coming, this is simply the sign of the ordinariness. You are far away from Bodhicitta. Likewise, with the Buddhists, you with the non-Buddhists. Right? Same. You are not actually following the Buddhism in the first place. If you say with the Buddhists and with the non-Buddhists, if this attitude is coming, you are not at all following the Buddha's message. Buddha's message is to embrace everyone with love and affection, and you are not pushing others. Where is Buddha's message? So these are the indications that no matter what religion the other person is following, no matter what country the other person is from, no matter what ethnicity the other person is, no matter what gender the other person is, your feeling flows towards everyone, and then sweeping generalization. Oh, these people, Westerners will say you the Asians will say you the Westerners, right? And then what? Buddhists will say you the non-Buddhists, non-Buddhists will say you are the Buddhists, right? And within the Buddhism, the Theravada will say the Hinayana, the Mahayana, they are actually not Buddhists. The Mahayana, they are inferior. Mahayana will say you are inferior Buddhists, and Theravada will say you are not at all Buddhist in the first place, right? So all these are indications that there is no love and affection, right? So this is where all these will, if these things stop, which means that you are turning towards the Bodhicitta, you are turning towards seeing everything in the light of great compassion, which is so precious. You getting it? And then the girls may say that, oh, this is the boys. Boys don't know how to take care of, this. The boys will say these are the girls. So these are all the sweeping generalizations. These are the indications of our lack of love and affection towards others. When the genuine love and affection comes, right, it's like how the mother feels towards others. Mother feels towards the children, right? Particularly the weaker ones. The mother will exceptionally show love towards the weaker ones. For example, the mother has two children, younger and the elder. Younger is very competent, so competent, very compassionate and very bright, and everybody topper in the school, right? Topper in the school and so disciplined. Everybody loves him. All the schools, the school teachers, principal, headmasters, they all praise him or her. And the elder one is no mannerism, right? Little harsh, rude, tough, and not intelligent, not doing good in studies. Nobody loves him. But the mother will always, tell me, if the mother genuinely loves the two children, who the mother will show greater love? To the younger one or to the elder one? Younger one is very competent. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves her. Right? Elder one is the one who is lacking love and affection. Mother will give exceptional love towards the elder one. Right? Not because that the mother is biased, because the elder one is being is being looked down by others, and the mother doesn't want that to happen. So this is mother's love. So when you see that others are exceptionally weak, because of your love and affection, you will particularly go to defend others rather than sweeping generalization and try to condemn others. Okay, so all these things, what in the world is considered as ordinary actions, these will stop, like backbiting other people, and then throwing comments on other people, being judgmental of other people. They'll all slowly stop, right? Okay, when that happens, being judgmental, some kind of a tinge of agitation is within you already. Being judgmental. Being judgmental means you don't love the other person. When you don't love the other person, when you come close, you don't feel comfortable. Discomfort is within you, right? So the moment these things are happening, actually these are the causes of your own agitation. You are not aware of that. Whereas when you feel the love and affection, so all these bad habits will slow down. They will all tone down. They will all disappear. Then you feel your mind freely flows. There is no obstruction. Freely flows. Such ease. Your life will become so easy. Life will become so comfortable, so beautiful, right? And then at one point, you see that every moment of the seeing beings is the activation of the Bodhicitta. Activation of Bodhicitta is taking you closer to his Buddhahood. So every time you see anybody, whether you're lovable, a neutral person or a different person, every time you see anyone, you see that as a factor for your activation of Buddha nature. So you see them as a factor for you to be taken closer to his Buddhahood. Then somebody taking you towards Buddhahood, this is so precious. You feel exceptionally grateful towards the beings, right? This is so precious practice. Okay, so this is the great compassion. With this great compassion, then the next one is easy. With the great compassion, what? May you be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. This is great compassion. What is the next question? What question can come to you then? Huh? Who will do it, right? Not how. Who will do it, right? Who will do it? Okay, although I'm not supposed to be generalized, but I'll be generalized today here. The French, they are so keen on how. Right? Okay, although I'm not supposed to do it, I'm doing it. Right? Okay, don't just say, what's the next question? How? Don't go for this, right? Think a little bit and ask, who will do it? Right? Who will do it? I will do it. That is altruism. I will take the responsibility that all beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. Great compassion, right? So this great compassion is explicitly taught, and the loving kindness, great loving kindness, is implicitly taught. Both are there. Both are there in this step. It is not only the great compassion, also the loving kindness is there. Great compassion, loving kindness, both are there. Great compassion is explicit taught, and the loving kindness is implicit. You can do both practice in this stage. Okay, so may all my dear mother sentient beings be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. This is great compassion. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. This is loving kindness, great loving kindness. Okay, then the question arises, who is going to do it? Who will liberate beings from suffering? Who will give happiness to all beings? I will do it. I will take the responsibility that all beings are free from suffering and that all beings are endowed with happiness. I will do it. This is altruism. Step number 6. Altruism. Then what is the next question? How? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do this? You getting it? Okay. Then what we did as a part of the method of equalizing exchange itself. How are we going to do it? Okay, now your answer, give the answer. Hey, what's your answer? How are you going to do this? We have learned it already. As a part of the... How are we going to do this? By becoming a Buddha. By becoming Buddha, by perfecting the 3 qualities. What are the 3 qualities? Perfect love, perfect knowledge, and perfect power. Right? By achieving the state of the perfection in 3 qualities. That perfection known as Buddhahood. So therefore, I will become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Okay, this is Bodhicitta. This is so precious, right? And the okay, so at that point, the moment you generate this feeling, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. When this feeling becomes very intense, very spontaneous, very intense, you have entered the first gati. Right? First gati. Okay. You have become a bodhisattva. You have entered into the path of accumulation. Bodhisattva is part of accumulation. And you have become the bodhisattva. So, at that point, you have become the child of the lineage. Child of the lineage of the Buddha's, child of the Buddha's lineage. Right? Okay. Now, let's see. Then you're already into the first gati. Then how to proceed to the next gati? How to proceed to next gati? Paragati, Parasamgati, Bodhiswaha. Okay. So these 5 constitute the 5 paths. Path of accumulation, you know that. Path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, path of meditation, path of no more learning, the 5 paths, right? Okay, so I'm going to quickly explain to you these 5 paths. Okay. Okay, the 5 paths, I'll quickly explain these 5 paths. The first path is known as the path of accumulation. Path of accumulation. So there, why it is known as path of accumulation is, say, the path. When you speak about, okay, by the way, first let me ask you one question. My question is, this method of general bodhicitta which we discussed just now, this method is known as what? Which method is this? Sevenfold cause-effect method to general bodhicitta. Okay, let's say sevenfold cause-effect method to general bodhicitta. This method has 7 steps and 1 preliminary. What is that preliminary? Equanimity, right? Okay, equanimity. Good. Okay, let's say what's the first path? Following the Bodhisattva path, following the minor path, what is the first path? First entry. What's the first entry? What's the first path? Minor path, how many paths are there? 1, 5. Also 5. What is the first one? Path of accumulation. Path of accumulation, right? Okay, my question to you is, when are you entitled? Tell me, when are you entitled to have entered the first path of accumulation? When? What quality is required? Virginia? Bodhicitta and? Renunciation. Okay, for Bodhicitta, renunciation is the required, prerequisite. So let's say Bodhicitta. When you say Bodhicitta, the renunciation is automatic. Right? Bodhicitta. Okay, anyone else?
L'altruisme, quand l'altruisme commence à devenir très puissant. Spontané.
When altruism becomes spontaneous and very powerful.
Okay, when the altruism becomes spontaneous, Bodhicitta, right? Right? When it takes the form of Bodhicitta in its very powerful natural state, then one enters into the first gati, the path of accumulation. Anyone else? Yes, Kecha?
And also karma binding.
Okay, we also need karma binding. Oh, this is complicated. This is complicated because why I'm saying this is that there are, the same various monasteries, they debate on this, right? I would not say that what Kecha said is wrong, because some monasteries, monastic the academic monastic institutions, the scholars, they say that for bodhicitta we need karma abiding. They say this. But generally speaking, it is not necessary. Generally speaking, the scholars say that it's not necessary. Okay, let's go to the general, the acceptance. It is not necessary. So, when you have the bodhicitta, anytime the bodhicitta is generated, this is uncontroversial. Anytime the bodhicitta is generated, a genuine bodhicitta is generated, a spontaneous, effortless bodhicitta is generated, at that point you enter into the path of accumulation. Very good. My question to you is what Mary said. What is the step before the bodhicitta? Altruism. So when you say when you are on the level of altruism, you are yet to go to the bodhicitta, the altruism. Why altruism is, when you have the altruism, very genuine altruism, at that point, why is it not the pathway accumulation? Right? At that point, you have not entered into the pathway accumulation. Why not? Why is it not given the label pathway accumulation? Why not, Fritz?
You have no goal yet.
No intention.
Huh?
No intention.
There's intention. I will take the responsibility. There's full intention there. Yes?
You don't know what to do.
You know, I will take the responsibility.
You don't know how.
Huh?
You don't know how to do it well.
Okay. So, anyone else? Yes, Kecha?
On veut, enfin, beaucoup de personnes sont altruistes, mais ne veulent pas pour autant devenir Bouddha ou aller dans le chemin de la bouddhéité. Donc il y a l'étape, il y a la dernière étape où on veut devenir Bouddha.
There are many people who are very, very altruistic, but they don't necessarily wish to obtain enlightenment.
But what I'm saying is that, said altruism, why is it not the pathway accumulation? Nico?
Maybe because bodhicitta is a very special main mind that pervades everything, every action, every thought, that altruism is not.
Why not?
I don't know.
Yes.
Mais parce qu'on la travaille encore d'une façon conceptuelle, elle n'est pas encore devenue spontanée. Oui, l'altruisme. Oui, c'est ça.
Because
On la travaille encore.
because it's not effortless bodhicitta or altruism. It's still we need some kind of effort to generate that.
Oh, it will still need?
It's not effortless.
Okay.
Kind of effort.
Okay, it still needs effort. But the altruism is very intense, right? Altruism is very intense. This is effortless. Altruism is effortless. So why this effortless altruism is not the pathway accumulation?
The goal of Buddhahood is not yet there.
Yes, Chen?
Maybe he
Not only he, she also.
maybe he or she knows nothing about the Buddhism, about the Buddhahood. What is Buddhahood?
He or she doesn't have any clue about the Buddhahood. Of course, he or she knows about Buddhahood, knows about it, but bodhicitta is not there. So, do you know Buddhahood? Yes, you have learned already, right? So when you practice bodhicitta, you reach altruism. That altruism, why is it not part of accumulation? You already know Buddhahood, right?
But if this person is not Buddhist, I mean, he could be
No.
Christian or other religion.
No. So when you reach that level, altruism, not only you are Buddhist, because you have the renunciation already. Without renunciation, you cannot have bodhicitta. Without renunciation is already there. With the renunciation, you already know what is nirvana. You already know that.
The step 6 we already have the renunciation.
Yes. Already have, right? So with the 7th step, then you become a bodhisattva. You are Buddhist long time ago. Right? Bodhisattva, it takes time. To become Buddhist is not that difficult. Right? Yes, Oath.
Est-ce que d'engagement. C'est qu'avant, ça restait une inspiration et peut-être que là, il s'engage réellement à agir.
Because quand ils ont dans la phase d'accumulation,
Ouais.
when they enter the path of accumulation, it's because they have the bodhicitta of engagement.
Okay. My question is, why for the path of accumulation we need bodhicitta? Why not altruism? Why not path of accumulation starts from before that, altruism? Why not? Virginia.
The name of the path is accumulation, and because when you have bodhicitta, spontaneous bodhicitta, every action that you do is with this mind of bodhicitta. So you accumulate much more because you have this bodhicitta always with you in your mind.
Then with the altruism, you have always altruism with you.
Yeah, but it's less powerful.
Less, and then the bodhicitta again, they are more powerful, less powerful ones. So the less powerful ones, they are not part of accumulation.
Yeah.
This is less.
Yeah, because it's more than altruism.
Okay, then altruism is more than the great compassion. Right? Okay. Okay, Maria.
I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, but can it be the conceptual understanding of emptiness?
Okay, that is not necessary. Not necessary. Anyone? Okay, Ocean.
Maybe between altruism and bodhicitta, you didn't accumulate virtues enough?
Oh, virtues, you have already accumulated a lot. Altruism. I will take the responsibility. It's amazing virtue. Wow, it's amazing virtue. Answer is already given by Fritz. What's the answer, Fritz?
There was not yet a specific, explicit goal to become a Buddha.
Why is the goal required? For the part of accumulation, why goal is required? This is my question.
Otherwise you would not enter it.
Huh?
Otherwise, why would you go somewhere if you don't want to go there?
No, altruism is also going, right? So why do you need the goal? Okay. For Fritz, there must be support of the Dhyan, right? Dhyan supported. Because it's a path. Path means there should be a goal. If there's no goal, you just go in the field, sit there, there's no goal. Because there's no goal, there's no path. Path makes no sense. To say path, right? Say, even if you're in the middle of the field, but if you are, in the middle of the, that is Kalachakra Center, I have to go there, that becomes the goal. And then the place between where you are standing to the Kalachakra, that becomes your path. Path means there should be a goal. You're getting it? So path of accumulation, there must be a goal. So for the Bodhicitta, may I become Buddha. The goal is set. The moment the goal is set, then the path automatically comes into being. Before that, altruism, there's no goal. Because there is no goal, there's no path. Even if you're in the middle of what we call as a path, it is not a path for you if there's no goal. Right? So the Fritz answer, supported by Dhyan's, gives the full answer. Okay, did you get the answer? Huh? Okay, tell me. Okay, so Diane get the one's answer. Daniel, one's answer. Okay, the question is altruism. Before Bodhicitta, altruism, why is it not the part of accumulation? Is my question. Okay, anyone now who can put the two positions? First answer, supported by Diane's answer, put together. Anyone who likes to give the answer now to make it clear to all of us? Anyone? Yes, Nico?
Because altruism is the decision, I will take the responsibility. Bodhicitta is the mind, I will myself become a Buddha to liberate all beings. So without that, there is no goal. There is I will take the responsibility, but there is no, I will go there and then take the beings there as well. So there is no goal, there is no path.
Not clear.
I can understand the words, but in the process, in the sequence, why we divide at this time because we are. When we were speaking about the great compassion,
Yes.
great compassion is becoming, I would say, really good. We realize that people are suffering and we wish to them they want to be free. That is very, we are very convinced in our body, in our mind, in our thoughts, in our daily life with that thing.
Compassion,
It's
yes.
not a concept.
Yes. It's a living experience.
Living experience. Then, altruism, we decide to take the responsibility.
Yes.
May I say, then we need perfect love, perfect knowledge, and perfect power.
Yes.
If I say quickly, I take it now, this responsibility, I'm still in altruism or I'm going...
In the altruism, I will take the responsibility. It's still altruism. Then the question is, how I'm going to do it? Then you say, by perfecting in these three qualities of the Buddha. When you say, I will perfect in these three qualities of the Buddha, you are saying, may I become Buddha. So that is Bodhicitta. Good. Very good. Okay. Now we see that the moment you generate bodhicitta, you entered into the first path of accumulation. You getting it? So that path is known as path of accumulation because accumulation. Okay, Julia, are you fine?
Yes.
Son, no problem. You can come here if you like, or you can move here. It's much better than before, but still. Okay. Okay, so the part of accumulation. Part of accumulation means, for example, if we want to build a house, we need to first accumulate the materials. Materials required for Buddhahood. What are the materials required for Buddhahood? To achieve Buddhahood, what are the materials required? Okay. The two bases, the two paths, and the two results. We studied this some time ago, right? When was that? Huh? Yesterday? Or this morning? Yesterday? Or 2 years ago? No, we did not meet before, right? Last year we did not meet. Maybe we met last life. Okay, so the two bases, the two paths, and the two results, right? The basis, the two bases, the two truths. The paths, what are the paths? Wisdom and a method. You're getting it? So we have to accumulate the wisdom and accumulate method. So here, the path of accumulation means where you have to accumulate enormous wisdom and enormous method. Gathering the materials to achieve Buddhahood. This is known as the path of accumulation. Right? Okay, what is next? Path of preparation. Path of preparation we'll do a little later. What is next? Okay, path of seeing. So, the point is here, when we say path, we have to follow gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisattva. This is not external path, it's internal path, it's internal journey. It's internal journey. Because it's an internal journey, we have to journey of cleansing the mind. You agree with me? It's a journey of cleansing the mind. Okay, tell me, what? And cleansing the mind, there are two ways of cleansing, right? You remember that? Cleansing, there are two ways of cleansing. Right? Say suddenly you remember that all our shoes are put outside. Yes. One is just suppressing it, covered with a nice cloth, put some flowers on it. This is one way of cleansing it. But deep inside, still the shoes are there. Right? So another way of cleansing is actually cleansing, actually removing the dirt. Right? There are two ways of cleansing. Now tell me, the metal stains, the actual cleansing starts when? Huh? what helps you to actually remove the afflictions, remove the mental defilements? Direct realization of the emptiness. Wisdom which directly realizes emptiness. Okay, there are 3 words, there are 3 technical terms. Direct realization, wisdom, directly realizing emptiness. Wisdom, non-dual wisdom of emptiness. Okay, direct wisdom of emptiness, non-dual wisdom of emptiness, non-conceptual experience of emptiness. These 3 are synonymous. Okay, let me say this again. Direct wisdom of emptiness, non-dual wisdom of emptiness, and non-conceptual experience of emptiness. These 3 are synonymous. These 3 are synonymous. You getting it?
The last one, non-conceptual?
Okay, first one is direct. Seeing emptiness like seeing the flower directly, you see emptiness directly. 1. Number 2 is non-dual wisdom of emptiness, meaning that subject-object duality dissolves. You are submerged into emptiness. Subject-object duality dissolves. Non-dual experience. Non-conceptual meaning, for example, saying, okay, what are you seeing? Is a flower. Or close your eyes and think of a white flower, right? Okay, so that thought of the white flower is conceptual. What you see with the eyes is direct, right? Okay, so non-conceptual meaning, not in the form of a thought. It's direct experience, non-conceptual experience, non-dual experience of emptiness. These 3 are synonymous. Okay, now tell me, when does the actual cleansing of the mental defilements happen? What makes you to have the actual cleansing of the mental defilements take place? What makes that to take place? The direct experience of emptiness, non-dual experience of emptiness, non-conceptual experience. Okay, tell me, when do you get this experience, non-dual experience of emptiness? Which of the 5 paths? When do you have the direct experience of emptiness? Which of the path?
When we enter the path of seeing.
Very good. Path of seeing. When you enter the path of seeing, then the direct experience of emptiness comes to you. You getting it? Good. Okay. So there, the direct experience will come to you, and at that point, actual cleansing starts. So therefore, when you speak about the Four Noble Truths, what are the Four Noble Truths? Truth of suffering, truth of cause of suffering. What is the third? Truth of the cessation of suffering and its causes. Then number 4, truth of the path leading to the cessation. You are getting it? Number 3, truth of the cessation of suffering. Suffering not just covered by the cloth. Suffering removed from the root. Right? Removed from the root. That is the cessation. Number 4, the path leading to the cessation. This is the non-dual wisdom of emptiness. The moment you have the non-dual wisdom of emptiness, then you start to have the of the Four Noble Truths. Number 4. You start to have number 4. Due to number 4, you will have the number 3. You getting it? These 2 are the real dharma. When you say dharmam sharanam gacchami, when you say that, right? When you say that dharmam sharanam gacchami, I go for refuge in dharma. The real dharma is the non-dual wisdom of emptiness and the cessation of the mental defilements due to the non-dual wisdom of emptiness. Non-dual wisdom of emptiness is the path of the Four Noble Truths. Noble Truth number 4, the path leading to the cessation. This is the non-dual experience of emptiness. And then because of this, number 3 is what you achieve. Number 3 is the cessation of the suffering causes. So these two are the real dharma, right? When you say dharmam sharanam gacchami, this is meaning. Okay. So with this, when you reach path of seeing, then the actual mental cleansing starts from that point. Before that, all the purification practice that you do, making prostrations, Vajrasattva practice, all these things that you do, purification happening is on the form of more like suppressing, more like covering, more like suppressing, not actually removing from the root. Remove from the root starts only when you reach the path of seeing. Okay. So, when you reach that level, when you reach the path of seeing, when you see emptiness directly, at that point, you become Arya. In English, it is translated as the superior beings. Superior beings, Aryas. Okay, Arya means somebody who is superior. Superior in what sense? Ordinary people cannot see emptiness directly. You are able to see emptiness directly. So therefore you are called as the Arya, you are called as the superior being. Right? Okay, that is a part of seeing. Now, part of seeing is when the actual journey starts. The real actual journey starts from the path of seeing. Journey of the cleansing of the mind. Actual journey starts from path of seeing. So, what's the path before that? Path of preparation. Path of preparation is when you are preparing to achieve, to get this path of seeing. Preparing yourself to get to this path of seeing. To preparing yourself to get the non-dual wisdom to actually cleanse the mental defilements. This is a part of preparation. You getting it? Okay. Part of preparation. Then part of seeing. What is next?
Meditation.
Which part is that? Huh? Part of meditation. Part of meditation is which? Gate gate? Paragate? No? Parasangate. Good. Okay, the part of meditation is the parasangate. Part of meditation means now you have already got the actual, say, the remedy to cleanse the mental defilements. You already got this remedy, antidote. So this antidote, non-dual wisdom emptiness, which you have, where you have seen emptiness directly, part of seeing means to see emptiness directly. So this antidote that you've achieved, what should you be doing? Okay, how many of you have in your life, how many of you have suffered from tuberculosis? No one. Tuberculosis, no one. Okay. Okay. And is there anyone who is a doctor, nurse? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me see. Let me test the nurses. Right. Do you remember the medicines for the tuberculosis? Okay.
I don't think it's studied profoundly because it's almost not existing.
Okay, that's true. That's true. So you have to also go to the what is that? The cross, Red Cross. For Red Cross, don't say in Red Cross in France doesn't make sense. Red Cross, you have to go outside. Okay, good. The point is that, let's say that in some places where people are suffering from tuberculosis, but they don't have the medicines. You're getting it? They don't have the medicines. Now, say you get the medicine. Finally, without getting the medicine, even if you eat good food, take care of health, do exercise, and so forth, do you think that tuberculosis will go away? No. Right? You have to have the antibiotics. Okay. So now, suddenly, right, because of your coming in contact with the right person, although you are in a very remote place where all these medicines were unheard of, suddenly you get the right person, the doctor, the nurses, who sense that you are suffering from tuberculosis, and then you are given the medicines for the last 5-6 years. With all your efforts, this problem is never going away. Suddenly you met with this person, and this person gives you a bunch of medicines, like isoniazid, rifampicin, itambudo. Right? Okay. All right. So these medicines, finally you got them. Okay. These medicines, how long should you be taking these medicines?
94 months.
Huh?
94 12 months.
9 to 4 months, yes.
9 months to 1 year.
Okay, 9 months to 1 year. Now the upgraded version is 6 months. Right? Upgraded version is 6 months. Okay, say 9 to 1 year. 9 months to 1 year. Let's say 6 months to 1 year. Right? 6 months to 1 year. Okay. Are these medicines real medicines? They will remove the tuberculosis? Yes. Hey, believe me. As in acid, believe me, right? Trust me. That these are the medicines for the tuberculosis. Right? And you take these medicines, the tuberculosis will be over? Answer is yes. Answer is yes. Hey, what happened? Hey, you take this training because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, you don't trust me. Right? Trust me, these are medicines, I know. These are 3 medicines for tuberculosis. Say, finally you got medicine. And the doctor says that, the best of the doctor in the world says that, take these 3 medicines for 6 months, your tuberculosis will be over. Will you take it or you will not take it? Huh? Okay, the Dutch will take it. French? French, they are a little stubborn. Right? Even the best doctor in the world says still he's not a French, so they find out. You will take it, yeah, you will take it. I know you will take it. You will take it, right? Okay, you will take it. But this medicine is supposed to treat you. You take the first dose. You face the first dose, and the next day you say, no, it did not heal me. I took the medicine, it did not heal me. What would you say? You have to take it for 6 months. You're getting it? You take it for not just 1 dose. You see the emptiness once, it is not sufficient. Your problems will not go away. Your problems will go away with, you have to take it repeatedly. That is known as meditation. Part of meditation. You're getting it? You have to take it repeatedly. So, whatever emptiness that you have seen directly, you have to see this emptiness directly, repeatedly, over and over again, over and over again. Seeing emptiness directly over and over again is known as part of meditation. Right? Okay, then you over and over again, you do it over and over again, you do it for like 6 months. Then what happens? Tuberculosis is over. Right? All your mental defilements are gone. Right? What happens? You reach the Bodhiswaha. You got it? This is the Buddhahood. Right? Okay. Good. Now the point is that what I'd like to share with you is that, okay, if nothing really bad happens in between, how many of us here are going to become eventually like 5 years older than what we are now? If untimely death doesn't happen, then how many of us are going to become eventually 5 years older, 6 years older, 10 years older? All of us, right? All of us. No exception, all of us. Right? Okay. So there now the point is that while the aging is bound to happen, how do you want to make this aging happen? Aging happen where your mind becomes happier, 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 or your mind becomes less and less happy. Then started as you age more, you start to become nostalgic over the youth. Which of the two do you want to age? In what way do you want to age? First one or second one? If the first one, then our job is to practice it. We practice it, no doubt. At times you may feel demoralized. I'm saying this, I'm giving the pre-warning. At times you may feel demoralized, it may become so mechanical, right? It happened to me also. It will happen to everyone. I'm sure even the Buddha Shakyamuni went through this stage where he was present Bodhicitta, then at one point it became so mechanical, no experience coming. I'm sure, right? To His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to the Buddha Shakyamuni. But with the consistency is important. Initially, don't go for the quality, go for the consistency. With the practice of Bodhicitta, go for the consistency, right? Try to build the consistency, which means don't go for the quantity, go for Go for the consistency. Don't go for the quantity initially. Right? Oh, I have to practice for 2 hours, 3 hours. Never ever do like this. Start small. Start small. What is more important is, quantity is not important. Important is the consistency. That should be done regularly. So as you do regularly, what happens? Regularly, initially you may have the experience coming. It can move you into tears, right? And then slowly it will become more like mechanical, no experience coming. When that happens, it's high time for you to enrich the experience by studying more. Keep studying more. How to study more? Right? Keep reading, for example, like this book. This book, I hope this book will eventually come fully in French. Hopefully, Christophe, you will get time. Right? Okay. So this book would be, you just read don't read like 20 pages a day. Don't read 30 pages a day. If you do that, then you will not reach Lhasa. Right? You will not reach Lhasa. So read like maximum 1 day, 1 page. If you feel very tired, read 1 stanza. Read 1 stanza, okay, he said, read something. Right? I'm very tired. But 1 stanza, I read. Quickly read it, even though meaning is not there. Quickly read it and then close the book and keep it there. Sleep. 1 stanza. Right? Make it a habit. Make it a habit to always enrich your studies. Studies will enrich your experience. You're getting it? And slowly the experience will become stable. And as the experience becomes stable, then the progress is not going to be like a shooting star. It's going to be like a very diagonal. Diagonal is not like vertical, the experience. No, it's going to be diagonal. It's going to be very slow, yet very steady. Initially, it's going to be like the vertically experiencing, and then you'll fall down. And then you consistently practice, then slowly again keep rising, but not vertically, diagonally, but very stable. Right? Okay, this is very precious. So this is what everybody has to go through. Everybody has to go through this experience. Okay, so for that matter, consistency is so precious. Consistency is so precious. You getting it? And try to take advantage of every moment. Say when you are in a bus, when you're in a metro, you're in a car, when you're in a train, aeroplane, when you see particularly the mother and the children, their relationship, just observe that. And then take yourself back in time when you were as young as this young boy, as young as this young girl, right? And then see what is that like. You're feeling towards your mother, you're feeling towards your father, the affection, so forth. So this is how we should be practicing. Okay. Okay. So tomorrow we'll do the blueprint for a daily practice, right? What if we have like 1.5 hours a day for the practice, or 1 hour a day, half an hour a day, 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day? How should we practice, right? So this is what we're going to do tomorrow.
Could you explain the conclusion of the 4 essentials?
Okay. Okay, by the way, there are so many people who volunteered to ask many questions. Who are they? The Fritz is done. Fritz question is done, right?
Fritz had 2 questions.
Who? Fritz has 2?
Yes.
Okay.
But one was spontaneous.
One was already done.
Included in the teaching. So.
Yeah.
Yes. So who else? I think Maria also wanted 2.
No,
You don't have. Oath has, right? Oath right. You have no. Chen? No, say earlier I gave the responsibility for people to remind me with questions. You are one of them, right? No? Okay, now people are all okay. So one is, I think Capucine, right?
That was the conclusion of the 4 essentials.
Conclusion. Who else?
It's the last one, I think. I think we covered the rest.
Virginia, no question. Are you sure? Okay. So seems like everybody is all very happy.
Yes.
Right? Okay, they've forgotten the responsibilities. Okay. Conclusion we'll do tomorrow.
Okay.
Again, remind me.
And the reincarnation, you told?
Okay, reincarnation part, I think is practically a little difficult. I have more meetings, individual meetings tonight. Okay. So tomorrow we're in the same class?
Tomorrow we morning practice with talk.
Yes.
Then after the breakfast we have the 1 hour blueprint session. This is the last session.
At 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yes. Okay, so tomorrow the teaching will be, hopefully we'll finish by 10. Hopefully we'll try best. Okay, the point is tomorrow morning, see, if you have health issues, if you're really tired is one thing, otherwise see if you can make it tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning is like the soul offering, which is going to be like the very auspicious, the conclusion. And the taking Aspiration Bodhisattva vow is a great opportunity for all of us taking the Aspiration Bodhisattva together. And then after this, again, when are we going to get the opportunity to take the Aspiration Bodhisattva vow, we are not too sure. Actually, we can take the Aspiration Bodhisattva by yourself. It's not necessary that you should be in group like this. What we are doing, this, you can do it on a daily basis. In fact, many people who attended the Bodhicitta retreat before, after the Bodhicitta retreat, they just continue to do this practice, Vajra Moon practice, and take the Aspiration Bodhisattva vow every day from that day onwards. So this everybody can do. And that is not necessarily, mornings we're doing like 1.5 hours, no, 2 hours. 2 hours. But this can be done within like 10 minutes we can do it. Taking the Aspiration Bodhisattva vow, we can do it in 10 minutes, we can do it. Right? Very easily, we can comfortably do it at 10 minutes. So if you can make it like a habit to do this, this would be incredibly wise way of being kind to yourself. And how many you want to be kind to yourself? How many you want to be wisely kind to yourself? The wisest thing to do is take this Aspiration Bodhisattva vow on a daily basis, at least for like 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day, right? Okay. Yata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisvatyata. Okay, dedication. Yes. Dedication. Page 284. 280. Okay, dedication prayer. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness to world. All powerful generously Tenzin Gyalso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as the brave Machri and some of the Badra too realize things as they are, also I dedicated all these merits in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these rules of virtue with the dedication praise as the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. Chanju Semjo Remboche Magya Panam Ke Gyuroche Kyabanyam Bhavebayam Kone Kondo Prevaraisho May the Supreme Bodhicitta that is not arisen arise and grow, and may that which is arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as beings remain, until then may I truly remain to dispel diseases to the world. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into that enlightened state. I dedicate the merit thus gathered to the realization and teaching the prayers of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the three times, and to the upholding the Dharma of the teaching and realization. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the four graces of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path of renunciation, bodhicitta, bhakti, and the two stages. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I join the demand of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the triple gem, I confess the negativities individually, I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings, I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. The path of union, humanity, and self-compassion is loosely explained by the protector of both the Dharma and the beings must know that, where the Buddha's soul that can sing Gyatso is certificated that he wishes to fulfill spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds of the negative forces, humans or non-humans, who help our minds to perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhas be totally vanquished through the power of the truth of the rituals. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of sages and plants, and could attain the state of Bodhicitta. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by Manjushri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of the dependent origination in particular, even across my life. Okay, 3 questions.